You know, kata is an amazing thing, and there's one way to really open the door to see all the possibilities in that, and that's to start relating it to Kyusho and putting the Kyusho or allowing your Kyusho to evolve in your katas. Say you're doing a kata. Let's take Sanshin as an example. Many styles study a Sanshin or Sanshin or whatever you want to call it. Many styles have this form. If you allow your mind to see the targets on an opponent rather than your physical performance and constantly keeping your mind on yourself and what you're doing within that form, then you will see a whole new world open up to you. The simple straight punch can be something completely different than just a punch. You need to allow your mind to create your own answers for your kata. Don't let someone dictate to you what they are for real. Okay, yes, take their advice, listen to them because they have some valuable input from all the years that they've trained it. Listen to what they've actually gotten out of the kata, and then take it on your own and see what you can make out of it. Again, I've put this point up a couple times on YouTube, but it's really essential. You have a form, it's yours, all right? When you're in your school, your dojo, your testing, whatever the case may be, do it exactly as they wish you to do it. But when you're studying it daily at home on your own or in the dojo in the corner by yourself, you make it your own. Think about what you're doing. Allow yourself to think. Now, how you do that is you take the Kyusho targets, and all you do is when you stick out your punch, for example, or say a back two knuckle coming straight upward, think about the different targets, whether it's under the jaw, or whether it's under the cheekbone, whether it's under the eye socket or the skull itself, or whether it's behind the ear, or whether it's at the base of the skull in the back of the head, or whether it's up underneath the rib cage. Again, you put your mind into targets, okay, and allow your kata to show you the Kyusho patterns, and that will open up your kata considerably. And from those single targets and tools, you'll start to evolve into certain bunkai. And I know a lot of people don't like bunkai or the term bunkai, but all it means is interpretation. All right, so you put together little fighting scenarios, okay, and then you string them together into a tegumi or a constant passive aggressive drill back and forth using pieces of that kata. And then you can go transfer that into freestyle, and you will see your kata grow and your art grow and your skill as a martial artist grow and your value as an instructor grow. Because if you're just passing on the same stock answers that your instructor and their instructor showed you, then you're not really instructing. You're just mimicking, you're just mirroring, and you're just showing people something. But when you start putting your body and your soul and telling your students, hey, listen, I found this in the kata. Okay, this opened this door for me. Well, then you're an instructor, a real teacher. You're showing them what you found so they can look at that answer and then open the door for themselves to explore. All right, this isn't a game of monkey see, monkey do. In the beginning, to teach a kata, sure, okay, I can see that. But to let a student evolve, especially after Shodan, to let them evolve and become a Nidan, a Sandan, what is it? It's not just a repetition of another kata that you get. And that's the problem with modern karate. To pass a rank, you have to have another kata, okay? But nobody tells you what's inside the kata. Nobody asks you to break down that kata for the meanings that you've gotten, okay? And once you get up to 4th dan, 5th dan, 6th dan, whatever style you do and whatever the rules are, the learning stops. All right, and it's more promotional. What are you doing for the art? What are you doing to promote your style? Well, with Kyusho, we have a much different approach. There's always something new to work on and integrate right back down through every level of your prior training. And that's the way it should be. You want to be a teacher of the arts, you need to teach people what you found. You have to explore, not just mimic and repeat what someone else has told you. Really dig into the kata. I stopped teaching. I had about 25 kata that was in a system that I was teaching at my school. And I boiled it down to 3, and I would only teach 1 to black belt. And I would instruct them that each level, after the Nidan level and after the Sandan level, they were going to go back into their particular forms, and they could pick one or they could pick all 3 of them, whatever combination, but they would have to show new revelations out of it with an increased level of skill according to that particular level. So it's again a learning experience, but it's not my learning experience. I share what I learned, but then it's up to them to share what they learned. That's what it's all about. That's what the old masters did. They started with 1 kata, 2 kata, 3 kata. They got together and they exchanged notes and developed themselves. And then around when the World War started and all the GIs came over to their lands and they wanted to learn this karate, they didn't want to teach them the real karate. They didn't want to teach them the real way. They just taught them a whole bunch of forms, and they kept collecting forms off each other just to show the GIs, so the GIs would be satisfied and think they were getting better and better. And yes, of course, you get better over the years doing kata after kata or doing freestyle sparring. You get good at those, okay? But learning the kata, getting deep within that kata, you're probably missing most of it, and that's where modern karate fell down a little bit, and we're trying to pick it up, bringing it back to the old traditions that the old masters did, using the Kyusho that they documented in their books and their manuals, and working with the katas the way they did, just working 1 or 2 kata and really digging deep. As some old sensei said, I think it was Miyagi sensei, but I'm not sure, dig a small hole, but dig it deep. What that means is you take 1 kata and you dig into it for the rest of your life. You can spend your life on 1 kata and never end what you can find out. It's all limited by what you have in your mind, all limited by what you have in your spirit. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this.